Hello, Grace Community Church. Today is June 1, and we are continuing cover to cover through the Bible. Today, we are looking at the book of Proverbs, chapters 17 to 19. Now, as you go through the book of Proverbs, you have one thought after another thought after another thought. You can be overwhelmed by all of these. Here's what I have found helps me when I'm reading the book of Proverbs. I pray specifically, Lord, give me what I need from this passage. In other words, which proverb speaks to my heart? And what I do as I go through is I might circle them, the ones that rise to the surface. Some of them seem irrelevant to my life at this time, but others focus in exactly to where I'm needing to hear from the Lord. Like today, I began reading in chapter 17, and I see the Lord tests the heart. Now, there are many times during the week I sense myself being challenged by how I interact with people, decisions I make relating to the church or friends or my wife. And I look and I say, Lord, are you testing my heart in these things? Or how about this? Mock the poor and you're mocking God. Wow. I want to be careful with what I say because sometimes we're driving along, we see somebody who is homeless, but you think, boy, they could get a job, and you start making comments. And it's one thing to observe a truth. It's another thing to say something in your heart derogatory, and it says, if you're mocking the poor, you're mocking God. Or how about this? There is this idea that catches us off guard, that if somebody gives a bribe, they prosper. I read that proverb and I thought to myself, is that suggestion? Give bribes and prosper? No, not at all. What Solomon is doing here, or whichever of the writers wrote this section, is they're saying a truism that often people who give bribes prosper. It's not saying it's right. It's saying that this is an observation that has been seen. Now, in the book of Proverbs, we use similar principles that we do to Hebrew poetry. In fact, these are poetic forms. I'm going to give you an example. This is Proverbs 17, verse 17. A friend is always loyal. That is the first part of the sentence. The parallel adds more to it, but then gives us a little definition. And a brother is born to help in time of need. So we're talking friends, a good friend and a good brother have something in common, but that's the parallel. So parallelism in Hebrew gives you one idea followed by a parallel idea, but with a twist that adds to the meaning and riches of this. So here are some of the ones that struck me in today's reading. Keep your mouth shut and you'll be wise. If you're a fool and you don't speak, you would be perceived as wise. Well, as a guy from New York who talks too much, that's something I need to pay attention from time to time. And I love this one. This one has been made into plaques. And that is the name of the Lord is a strong fortress. The idea of the name of the Lord is that all the Lord represents. Run to that name and you're running into a fortress. Because you're keeping in your mind, the Lord is my strong deliverer. Here's one, part of my doctoral dissertation. Pride precedes destruction. Pride precedes destruction. We always have to look at where am I building myself up, when in reality, I could be going down the primrose path to destruction. Here's another beautiful one. A wife is a treasure. I circled that one. I've been married for 41 years. I get that. I see that. Or how about this? A real friend is closer than a brother. And you know what? I have experienced that and I try to be that. Some of you have met my dear friend, Pastor Nathan. I have joined him when he needed to visit his sister in Indiana who is dying. I joined him when he had his experience of becoming a pastor, and that first opportunity, I have had the opportunity to have him come out here, me go out there. I want to be that kind of friend. And here's the last one for me. Help the poor and you're lending to God. Wow, that's pretty cool. So how do I do that? Or how do I do that best? Michelle and I have made the decision supporting children through World Vision. I have seen firsthand in Rwanda how World Vision is effective in what they do. And so for $40 a month, we do that. Help a child. Now we have, I think, 5 children right now. I lose track. But that is my way of lending to the poor. Hey, great stuff. Pray at the beginning of your reading, Lord, which proverb is for me? And the Lord will reveal what you need to see. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.